Ladies and gentlemen, we have yet someone else bubbling up to the surface. They are digging these folks up, on purpose. They think if they dig up enough of them to speak against reparations, that's going to make a difference when it really won't make a difference at all. You know, it's amazing how you hear all of these people talking against reparations and then putting blackface up so they don't have to look like the racists, but get Charles Barkley, who is a very easy target for them to get to speak against everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I was watching Dr. Claude Anderson, and he made some very good points. These folks are always talking about, well, why should I go in my pocket and give for reparations? Well, when tax dollars went to Holocaust victims, part of those tax dollars came from Black people. When tax dollars went towards reparations for the Native American Indians, part of those tax dollars came from Black people. Just like it, came from our pocket for those Holocaust victims every single time you give them a reparations. Do you hear us whining about that? No, you don't. Whenever now you're talking about giving money towards immigrants, $4.6 billion towards the immigrants. Part of those tax dollars come from Black people. Every time you fund your opioids fight, those tax dollars, part of those tax dollars come from working class Black people. So stop trying to act like you giving us money is some horrifying thing when we have contributed to every damn thing, even things we never had a say in. So if we can make all of these contributions and be quiet, so can you. Don't want to hear from you. So now Charles Barkley, conflicted on reparations, very difficult subject. Actually, Charles Barkley, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. If someone owes you, it's not a difficult subject. Okay? It's a difficult subject for a coon. But to those of us that are wide awake, it's not a difficult subject. It's very clear. So this came out on TMZ, June 25th, 2019. Charles Barkley, who's become extremely political over the years, says the issue of reparations for slavery is a serious subject. Yes, I do agree with him on that. It is. And it's a subject that we will keep alive. It's not going to go away. But admits he doesn't see a real clear way to make it happen. Really? Really? It's amazing how you can make everything happen. Reparations to Holocaust offspring, because a lot of these people that were in those concentration camps are not even alive. You're giving that money to their offspring. The Native Americans of today are not the same ones laying in a mass grave. You are giving that money to the offspring. So that being said, no, it is not a difficult thing at all. Many of those Japanese people that were in those internment camps are not the Japanese people that you're looking at today. You're looking at the offspring of those people. So don't tell me something can't be done. America actually kept meticulous records on slavery. Just go check out the Library of Congress. They have everything in there. Bills of sale, insurance policies, They have slave recordings. They have a whole host of information telling you what ships and everything that were used, auctions of slaves, all of that. This country actually kept meticulous records on slavery. So when you ask all of those questions, my question is, why are you asking when all of this information is at your disposal? I know which plantation my relatives were on, and I'm not the only one that can find that information. Many people in our community know who their forefathers were out on those slave fields. I'm not the only one. I did my family tree back in 2001. I been knew who my family members were out on those plantations. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, their questions are stupid. They're stupid because all of the information can be found. All of it, even the census that they took during those times when slaves were counted, or a plantation owner had to give the amount of slaves they had on their plantation. All that information can be found. How come I can find that information, but these folks that are questioning everything, their dumbasses can't find nothing? Ask yourself that question. This country got enough information on slavery up the damn wazoo. Nothing should be confusing at all. So let me go back on to this BS that Charles Barkley is talking. The issue of reparations for the descendant, for people enslaved in America, has heated up recently. Just last week, there was a heated hearing about reparations at the House of Representatives. The current debate is over a bill, H.R. 40, which calls for a commission to be created with the mission of studying and coming up with proposals to compensate the descendants of slaves. There are passionate people on both sides of the argument, with author, journalist, activist Ta-Nehisi Coates clashing with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell during last week's hearing. McConnell argued that slavery happened 150 years ago, for whom none of us currently are living or responsible. You're right. But the United States gave Holocaust victims reparations. The Holocaust didn't even happen in this country. And the money that you're giving is primarily going to offspring. Native American Indians of today were not the same ones that you slaughtered. So that money is going to offspring. So Mitch McConnell, I can just tear apart your 150 years ago argument. I can tear it apart. Coates fired back, saying the U.S. paid out pensions to families of the Civil War soldiers well into this century. He also noted the government still honors treaties made by people who are long dead. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only that, if you didn't want to give reparations for slavery, then you shouldn't have gave it to the owners. So obviously you didn't have a problem giving reparations for slavery, just as long as it didn't go to us. But if it goes to people that look like you, the owners of those slaves, you had no issue. You didn't bitch or complain, not even one time about that. That's why I don't want to hear you now. So where does Barkley stand on this issue? He's conflicted. Well, if Charles Barkley had any damn sense in his head, he wouldn't be conflicted about nothing. He would want this government to pay what they owe. It's a very difficult subject, Charles said. I don't know how you would do it. That's the problem. Well, Charles, There are many ways that this government issues out check. The IRS issues checks out every single year during tax season. You don't have no problem finding people and issuing checks out then. Whenever these people, these folks in Washington, whenever they want to give money for whatever cause, they seem to find the money and be able to issue it out to those that need the money. Now you got Nancy Pelosi talking about some damn humanity as if America has any. She's now talking about giving $4.6 billion towards immigrants. It's amazing how America can always find money for everything else: opioids, immigration, all kinds of things. You even found money to set up safe injection sites for your junkies. It's just amazing what America can find money for. But when it comes down to us, everybody's broken. Why should I give my money? And why should I do this? And why I don't see how it can be done. Yeah, sure you don't. Sure you don't. And none of your arguments hold water. None of it. Because we can always look back on previous groups that you gave reparations and still give reparations. The Jews get money from the US every single year. The Native American Indians, they done got all kinds of reparations. It's amazing how you can find those offsprings, but you can't find the offsprings of the former slaves. See, this is why your arguments will never hold water. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. No, Charles, there's only one right answer, and that is they need to pay reparations. Because I don't know how you would do that actually. Well, Charles Barkley, that is not your job to worry about how it's going to be done. You're not a politician. Okay? This government knows how to pay out to people. They've done it before. So I don't want to hear that old ignorant ass shit. I don't know who would get it and who would not get it. Barkley also says an apology from the government would be nice, but that's a separate issue from reparation. I don't need no damn apology. I don't need no apology. I don't need no apology. They can keep that apology, Charles Barkley, just like you can keep your opinion to yourself. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.